Have you ever grabbed a kitchen towel thinking it's just a harmless piece of cloth, the same one you've been using all week, and dried your hands or wiped the counter? You might be surprised to learn that the soft, fluffy fabric you trust could be one of the sneakiest sources of germs in your home. Seriously, that towel might be hosting more bacteria than your toilet seat. I know, it sounds wild, but stick with me. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a kitchen towel the same way again, and you'll have some easy steps to make sure your kitchen stays safe and clean. Let's start with the basics. What's actually living on your kitchen towel? The main culprits are bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella, and Staphylococcus. These aren't just scary names you see in textbooks, they are real bacteria that can cause food poisoning, infections, or skin irritations. And they thrive on your towel because it's usually damp after washing dishes, wiping counters, or drying hands. That moisture is like a tiny spa resort for bacteria, warm, wet, and full of microscopic food particles. Even if you're super careful with hygiene elsewhere in your kitchen, the towel can quietly multiply germs while you're not looking. Now, let's talk numbers, because sometimes hearing the scale helps to wake people up. A single square inch of a damp kitchen towel can host millions of bacteria within just 24 hours. That's right, a towel left in a pile, folded on a counter, or hanging wet on a hook is basically a bacteria hotel. And if multiple people are touching it throughout the day, the problem grows even faster. Every time you wipe a dish or touch your hands with that towel, bacteria can transfer to your food, your hands, or even other surfaces in your kitchen. So why do most of us ignore kitchen towels? It's simple. We assume that they're clean because they look clean. There's no visible dirt, no smell, no obvious signs of bacteria, so it feels safe. But the truth is, bacteria don't need to announce themselves. They multiply silently, invisibly, and efficiently. Even towels that are washed regularly can remain a hotspot if they're not dried completely or stored correctly. Let's move on to daily habits that make things worse. First, using the same towel for multiple purposes is a classic mistake. If you're wiping your hands, drying a cutting board, and then grabbing the same towel to wipe a counter where raw chicken just sat, you're transferring bacteria all over the place. Even if you rinse it or wipe it on a clean surface, germs can linger in the fibers. The more you use a towel for different tasks, the more chances there are for cross-contamination. Second, the way you store your towel matters a lot. Towels left folded on a counter, draped over a sink, or bunched up in a drawer are basically keeping the damp environment intact, giving bacteria a perfect breeding ground. Ideally, towels should hang in a well-ventilated space where air can circulate, allowing them to dry completely between uses. Some people even keep them near the dishwasher or a warm part of the kitchen to help them dry faster, which is actually a smart move. Third, how you wash your towels makes a huge difference. Tossing them in the laundry with cold water and a little detergent may look fine, but cold water doesn't kill most bacteria. Hot water with the full cycle and some good detergent is much more effective. And don't forget to dry them completely. Damp towels straight from the washer are still a risk. If possible, use a high heat dryer or air them out in direct sunlight, which naturally helps to reduce bacterial load. Now, what about how often to replace your towels? Experts generally recommend changing kitchen towels every 2-3 days if they're used heavily, or at least once a week if used less frequently. Of course, if you notice any visible stains, smells, or mildew, replace them immediately. And yes, having multiple towels in rotation helps a lot. It keeps each one from being overused and gives you flexibility for different tasks. You might be wondering, can paper towels be safer? Absolutely. Paper towels are single-use, so they don't get the chance to host bacteria. They're perfect for wiping raw food messes or spills. But they aren't eco-friendly for heavy daily use, so a balance between reusable cloth towels and disposable paper towels is ideal. One thing people rarely consider is the difference between the types of fabric. Cotton towels are very absorbent, which is great for drying, but that also means they hold more moisture and bacteria. Microfiber towels dry faster and can be a better choice in terms of reducing bacterial growth. Some towels are treated with antimicrobial agents, but even then, proper washing and drying routines are necessary. No magic fabric will keep germs away entirely. Let's talk about cross-contamination scenarios that often happen without people realizing it. Imagine you just washed a knife that was used to cut raw meat, wiped it on the towel to dry it, and then went to clean a fruit plate. Suddenly, bacteria that were on the knife are on your fruit. Or maybe you're drying your hands after touching raw chicken, and then pick up a bread roll, bacteria transfer again. It's subtle, it's invisible, and it happens every day in kitchens worldwide. So, what's the best way to keep your kitchen towels from being a hidden danger? First, use them for specific purposes: one towel for hands, another for dishes, and a separate one for surfaces if possible. Second, wash them regularly in hot water, and make sure they dry completely. Third, rotate towels so none of them get overused. Fourth, consider using paper towels for high-risk messes, especially raw meat and poultry. And fifth, inspect towels regularly. If they start smelling, staining, or looking old, it's time to retire them. Here's a bonus tip: keep your towels in a dedicated rack or hook in a spot that gets good airflow. Avoid leaving them in closed drawers or bunched up on the counter. And never reuse a towel that's been soaking wet all day. These small changes are easy to implement and drastically reduce the risk of spreading bacteria. Now, you might be asking yourself, is this really that big of a deal? I've been using towels for years, and nothing happened. And yes, many people do go years without noticing an issue. But bacterial growth isn't always immediate or obvious. Some bacteria can cause mild symptoms. Others can linger and contaminate food over time, and a few, like salmonella, can make you seriously ill. Prevention is simple, but ignoring it is risky. So remember, the next time you grab that soft, trusted kitchen towel, think about where it's been, what it's been touching, and whether it's really safe to use. Treat towels like any other kitchen tool, with care, attention, and a little bit of science. Your hands, your food, and your stomach will all thank you for it. And finally, just like any other part of your safe home strategy, keeping kitchen towels clean isn't just about germs, it's about peace of mind. Knowing that every wipe, every dry, and every clean surface is as safe as it can be makes cooking more enjoyable, your kitchen more hygienic, and your meals healthier. It only takes a few minutes each week to rotate, wash, and properly dry your towels. A tiny effort for a big payoff. So, next time you reach for a towel, ask yourself, am I really keeping my kitchen safe? Or am I letting a quiet, invisible problem grow? With the tips we've discussed, you can be sure that your kitchen towels are working for you, not against you. And that's one small, simple way to keep your inside your safe home mission going strong.